Hey guys, what's happening? So, what is new today in the world of F1? I was reading a little bit ago about at Autosport. I was reading a little bit about all the changes that the FIA have made around the grid for social distancing and all of that good stuff. And it there's the amount of people that they're allowing in has drastically cut the amount of time on grid before they start, when the personnel have to leave the grid. A lot of timing issues in controlling the people and the amount of people around social distancing. And, I was reading through this litany of changes that they were making, and I got to thinking about this a little bit. If you've ever planned something out, an event or whatever it is, and you have all the best will in the world to say, okay, well, at this time, this is going to happen, and at this time. And to F1's credit, they've always been really good about the grid times, the countdown to race start, and they've always been very accurate at that. If you probably remember the images of the Rolex clock, right? When it ticks up and then they start, and so they've always been good. There's times that things happen that they can't control for. But all this timing seems intricate when you list it all out. I'm sure it'll be fine, but I guess my cautionary tale is, if the first Grand Prix back with limited personnel and the amount of time that they're going to spend doing this, I guess I would say just be a little patient with that, because these are uncharted waters for everyone, right? So don't be too harsh on them on that, because reading this, it's a complicated set of rules, and excuse me. You remember Paul Charsley saying that just for the IMSA race, one race, the document they sent him to review for his team is 35, 40 pages. So you can imagine F1, they have a tendency to really do it up right? So you can imagine twice that amount of information. So anyway, be patient with them on that first one. And then what else? Oh, well, here in the States, tomorrow is Father's Day. So I just want to wish all of you fathers out there a very pleasant Father's Day. I'm a father. My father isn't around anymore. Passed away several years ago, and but was the whole reason that I got into Formula One. And one of the recurring themes that I've seen over time has been this constant. And if the women will forgive me on this one, but for you men, or boys even out there watching, that always seems to be a narrative that I hear a lot. It was when we were young, or when they were young and their dad was really into it, and that kind of got them into Formula One, or Le Mans, or whatever racing series, MotoGP, whatever it might be. And it's one of those things that it's such a recurring theme over the years that I've done podcasts and talked, and it's sort of that unwritten impact that a father has. You don't think about it much, but if you go back to Jenson Button, like me, his father passed away too. I'm sure his father was not only supportive of JB's career, but instrumental in getting him in. And think of Lewis Hamilton and Anthony Hamilton, and all the sacrifice that Anthony made so his son could to do karting and all those good things. So maybe it's not that popular, but to all you dads out there, thanks for doing what it is you do, and thanks for being a dad and raising young Formula One fans, both boys and girls. So my daughters didn't have a choice. I have two daughters, and they grew up around Formula One, and they're the consummate eye roll, right? So anyway, happy Father's Day to all of you out there on Father's Day. And somebody asked me, no, I'm not holding this for a prop. Usually I do these when I'm sitting around noodling on guitar, and it's one of e pluribus unum, one of many. So anyway, and someone asked me, well, does it play? Yes, it does, and they wanted me to play something, so it does play. It does play. All right, guys, it does play. I promise. Anyway, have a great Father's Day. And remember, as we head into the Austrian Grand Prix, try not to be too harsh if there's hiccups in timing and things happen. So it's just the process. And I'm sure after the first race or two, they'll have that down. So, all right, have a great Father's Day, and we'll speak soon. See ya.